Sports Nation continues live from Studio B. Yesterday, the man we just mentioned, Jack Kelly, spoke with me after practice about defending Arizona State's vaunted rush attack with Cam Skattebo and how backup quarterback Gary Bohannon is taking an increased role in practice this week from a leadership standpoint. That and more, one-on-one with Jack Kelly.
Jack, let's just go ahead and start with the new news of the day, which is BYU shows up at number 14 in the latest college football playoff rankings, still the highest ranked Big 12 team. How do you navigate all of the national pundits and the rankings when you still have 2 regular season games left to play?
Like you said, we still have 2 games, so we got to take it week by week. If we lose those games, that ranking that we have right now is going to mean nothing. So we got to focus on this week, Arizona State. We got a big task at hand, and we just got to take it game by game, and hopefully we can win those.
Several of your teammates mentioned that last week of practice wasn't what they wanted it to be. They said, in other words, the urgency, the details, they just weren't there. So how has the team responded in practice this week after the loss to Kansas?
Really good. Gary Bohannon gave us a great speech just about the teams he's been on, good and bad, about what he needs to see from us, because he's been kind of seeing it from an outside perspective, as he said. And everyone's been really holding each other accountable and making sure that that urgency is there. And when everyone's holding each other accountable, it's really easy for us to make sure we're staying urgent, disciplined, and doing all the things we need to do.
What has the mindset of the team been from the time you walked in on Monday morning following a tough weekend to now you're a couple of days into the week and have some practices under your belt?
I think the team handled it really well. Everyone knew it wasn't the end of the world. We still have everything in our hands in front of us. Everyone came in knowing that we needed to work on some things, we needed to fix little things, and that's what everyone's been doing each and every day, getting that extra work. So I think teams handled it really well.
On the scout with Arizona State, as you have watched the film and their offense, and a guy you're probably familiar with from your Weber State days in Cam Skattebo, who was at Sac State, now he's at Arizona State. What's the scouting report in 30 seconds on the Sun Devils?
They got great at all 3 levels, receiver, running back, O-line, quarterback. Everyone is very talented. So obviously Skattebo, he's a physical back. He can run. He's got breakaway speed. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, so he's really good. The receivers are really good at everything, and O-line is physical, so I think it's going to be a great matchup for us.
BYU's defense has faced some elite running backs, and recently in R.J. Harvey with UCF and even Devin Neal last week against Kansas, you had success against them. So what is it going to take to have success stopping the run for Arizona State with Cam Skattebo?
I think bringing our A game and just preparing the right way. As long as we're prepared, I think we can be successful. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to come with our A game because he's a great back, like you said, and just have to bring it on every play.
You're talking about one of the biggest games of the year in the Big 12. How do you feel emotionally about the idea of BYU and Arizona State playing for the chance to essentially get to the Big 12 championship game in this moment, this late in the season? What's that like for you?
Honestly, it's surreal. Like, coming here, I don't know what to expect because I've never played at this level, but now that we are here, it's an amazing feeling. We all know that we have it, the possibility of being there, and so we're all super excited, but we know that we can't overlook anyone, and we got to take it day by day and game by game. So we're just focused on right now and trying not to get our eyes set on anything too far down the road.
From a defensive perspective overall, what has the work been like with Jay Hill this week, and how has his temperament been getting the defense ready?
He's been really good. He knows that he knows that we expect a lot of ourselves, and he also expects that same thing. So he hasn't been too hard on us. Obviously, he's corrected the things that needed to be corrected. But at the end of the day, practices have been the same. He's just holding that standard and making sure we're keeping it.
I want to go back to the Gary Bohannon conversation. You mentioned some of the things that he said specifically. What did that do to have a leader like that step up, even though he's the backup quarterback, because he's been there? What did that mean to the team in that moment?
Honestly, I think that kind of shifted the mindset of everyone, because everyone kind of was still like, oh, we lost, and thinking like kind of in a bad way. But once he came up there and talked and just kind of flipped our mindset of just what needed to be done now, we can't go back and change that loss. We lost, and we can only move forward from here. So I think he did a really good job of flipping our perspective on what we can do now and staying in the moment now, and we still have everything ahead of us.
I know that this game obviously brings with it some pressure, but there's massive opportunity as well. So on an excitement scale, 1 being low, 10 being the highest, where are your emotions with just general excitement to play in this game?
I'd say probably a 10. I think pressure is a privilege, and so being able to play in this game is a great opportunity. I thank God that we are allowed to be in this opportunity, and hopefully we can make the most of it.
Okay, through 10 games for BYU, how would you sum up what this season has been like for you?
I think it's been great. Just the camaraderie with the boys and just building relationships with everyone around this building has been awesome, and it really makes me feel like I'm a part of a family.
Let's talk about your linebacker family. Harrison Taggart, Isaiah Glasker, and of course you, Jack, there as well. What have the linebackers done to show development through the 10 games?
I think just getting better every game. Obviously, Glasker and Harrison have made significant amount of plays every game, so I think that just shows their ability to improve each week. And then even just the younger guys, you've seen Miles Hall in there making plays, and Sione Moa, Ice Moa, all of them have been making plays. So I think it just really goes to Coach Enna and all the defensive coaches for allowing us to develop and giving the trust in us that we can go out there and make plays.
I love it. We're expecting beautiful conditions, afternoon game in Tempe. A little different than the cold weather you've played in, but how do you feel about the prospect of playing in the heat of Tempe compared to what you were dealing with last week?
I think it's going to be a positive thing for us. We just got to make sure we handle this week right and prepare the right way with as far as nutrition and hydration. So as long as we can handle those things, I think it's going to be an amazing feeling playing in 70-degree weather, going from I think 32, something like that last weekend.
Hopefully the hits don't hurt as much, that's for sure. And we'll finish with this. What's your message to BYU football fans who may be a little down after the loss to Kansas, and what can you say to them to get them ready for this game?
I'd say put your faith in us, trust that we're doing the work, and the coaches have been doing their job to get us prepared, and we're going to do our job to go out there and hopefully come out with a win.
Jack, we appreciate the time, man. Good luck against Arizona State. We're giving you all the karma we can muster up.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.